Throw strikes, man, and you're around the plate a lot, you're going to give up home runs. And I'm not the type of guy that's going to go out and pitch around people and, you know, pick on each corner. You know, I'm just going to go right after you. And if you hit me out of the ballpark, so what? You know, hopefully it's a solo shot, and I'll take a couple solo shots and go 7-8 innings every time.
That's the thing, man. When we were looking at your numbers over the last, 6 games of last year, you were on a pretty good roll, but you weren't getting a lot of run support. But I think when people talk about your home runs, that's the byproduct, because you challenge guys, man. You don't shy away from anybody.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's the way guys can be successful.
Oakland is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Call Pizza Hut right now. Get your favorite 4-for-all pizza delivered right to your home plate before the first pitch. The 4-for-all pizza is only $11.99 for a limited time only. Pizza Hut. Gather round the good stuff. Some great weather. Young rookies in the game. The A's shortstop on display tonight, and he absolutely loves hitting against Oakland. And in this ballpark, Ichiro and the Mariners take aim at the A's. It's next.
Get into your Northwest GMC dealers for the 2004 family of Envoys, engineered with all the horsepower.
Defeat from the jaws of victory on Thursday and departed Safeco Field without even sniffing the win column. Tonight, the twists and turns of the 04 campaign bring the Mariners and Ryan Franklin to face the A's, where they'll find a familiar face anxious to prove his worth. It is Game 1 between the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland A's, and we get it started for you right now on FSN. On this Good Friday, it has come up a beautiful here on the East Bay and the San Francisco Bay as the Mariners take to the road for the first time in 2004. And as they take to the road, they could not take to the road in a tougher place. To you all, welcome to the Oakland Coliseum, and a very pleasant good evening to you, everybody. Dave Niehaus along with Ron Fairley. And when you say you couldn't open in a tougher place, other teams have found that to be true here over the years.
No question about that. The Oakland A's in the last 5 years have the best home record of any team in baseball, second to San Francisco Giants. It is tough to win in this ballpark.
And of course, for the Mariners over the years, this has been the toughest place for them to win. However, they did get even in 10 games against the A's last year at 5-5. As the Mariners are out of the suitcase for the first time in Game 1, they will go with Ryan Franklin tonight against Oakland.
And hopefully this will be a year in which the Mariners can give him a little bit of run support. They did not help him out a great deal last year in the 11-13 record that he had.
Mark Redmond used to work with the Detroit Tigers. Last year he was very successful with the world champions, the Florida Marlins, and he's back in the American League.
Yeah, but he has never beaten the Seattle Mariners. In fact, if you look at the lineup, no one in the lineup has hit a home run against the left-hander, but maybe that'll change tonight.
So, as we mentioned, we do have a beautiful, beautiful evening for a ball game here. Good to have you with us. The M's trying to get on the board on the right side, which would be the left side, right? Wins and losses, they're looking for win number 1. The Mariners and the A's will be right back with the lineup. Play Baseball Magic at Safeway. Seattle Mariners baseball this evening is brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative. By Nextel, done. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9. By Safeco Insurance. To find a local independent Safeway agent, visit www.safeco.com. And by Southwest Airlines, nonstop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. And welcome back to the Network Associates Coliseum as Ichiro steps in to lead it off. And the first pitch of the night is in and over, and we are underway. Paul Nauert is the man calling balls and strikes tonight. It has turned out a lovely evening here in Oakland. The A's knocking off the Texas Rangers 2 of 3 in their first 3-game series of the year. And, of course, the Mariners being swept. Mark Redmond, who has a great change, finds the outside corner and a count 2 strikes on Ichiro. Redmond, 30 years of age, out of Southern California, and that's lined into left field for a base hit, so he got that one up on Ichiro, and he jumped all over it.
Let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the opening game of this 3-game series. Here's the way that Bob Melvin is going in tonight's game. It'll be Ichiro, Winn, Boone, Martinez, Aurilia, Olerud, Wilson, McCracken, and Bloomquist. Raul Ibanez is given the night off, and Quentin McCracken is out there in left field. Edgar Martinez, last year, .344 batting average against the A's with a couple of home runs and 11 runs driven in.
Well, here comes one of the Bay Area's finest at the plate, Randy Winn, and there's a bunt attempt, and that was not a sacrifice type of a bunt. He was bunting to push the ball by the right side of the mound and get a base hit.
Well, also tell me a little bit that maybe Bob Melvin is playing for 1 run early in the ball game. Give Ryan Franklin 1 run, possibly 2 runs, but at least 1 run before he goes out to the mound to throw his first pitch. Not a bad idea.
Mark Redmond, now 30 years of age. And a ground ball, double play ball. Hit right to Bobby Crosby. He goes to Scudero. Scudero can't get rid of it.
Take a look at it one more time. You can see, looked like Scudero could not get the ball out of his glove.
Almost dropped it.
Almost dropped it is right.
Scudero, the ex-New York Met. Of course, the Oakland A's are really going to miss their regular second baseman, Mark Ellis, who's out for the year. Frank Menachino also is on the DL. He would be the number 2 second baseman, but he's probably going to be out for another couple weeks or so. That pitch to Boone is way high and outside. Ball 1 ball and no strikes.
Dave, we've talked all the time about having strength up the middle. And last year they had Tejada and Ellis playing short and second base. And this year you're going to have Crosby and Scudero down there around the second base pack. And I just don't know how well they're going to work the plays that they're going to make compared to what those other guys did. So that may be a factor in where the A's finish this year.
Having looked there behind Chavez at Bobby Crosby, he and Ellis collided on a play in spring training, and Ellis balked his call, and Randy Winn moves on down to second base. Looked to me like he didn't hesitate at all.
Well, I think he didn't step over to first base, and the other first base umpire says, "Hey, don't even talk to me about it." Randy Marsh, take a look. Does he step to first base? Well, he kind of cheated a little bit over there, like a lot of left-handers do. But he's stepping primarily toward the plate and not giving you a good effort stepping over toward first.
So Boone sitting on a hitter's count here, 2-0, and sends a ground ball to Chavez. And Eric will throw him out. And Edgar Martinez will get a chance to pick up his 1,200th career RBI here.
Edgar Martinez.
The A's, of course, reaching postseason 4 consecutive years, but eliminated in the first round every year. Blowing outside with that change.
One thing that you like about Redmond playing behind him is he doesn't waste much time. He pretty much gets the ball and throw it very much like that of Ryan Franklin. So he keeps the defense pretty much on their toes.
Edgar off the end of the bat to the first baseman. And an easy play. So Carroll's underhand. The Redmond covering. And the M's have to put up a goose egg here in the first. Underway. Ryan Franklin out to the mound to face the Oakland A's. The M's don't score.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines from Seattle to cities in the West for just $59 or $79 when you purchase by April 26th.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's Chevy Truck Fest with an unprecedented offer.
0% APR financing for 60 months plus bonus cash on almost every Chevy truck and SUV. Lower your down payment. Lower your monthly payment. Hurry in now for this unbeatable offer. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every Silverado. Chevy Truck Fest. Turn the key. Start a revolution. Visit us online or see your Northwest Chevy dealer today.
Come on, baby. First down.
Earnhardt.
Yeah, coach.
You're in.
Who got eight? Who got eight? Watch it.
Walkie-talkies get it done. Next time.
Mariners did not score in their half of the first inning. Let's take a look at the A's starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And this evening, here's the way it'll go. It'll be Kotsay, Kielty, Chavez, Dye, Hatteberg, Karros, Crosby, Miller, and then Scudero. That guy right there, Eric Chavez, well, he pretty much wore out Ryan Franklin in his career, 6 for 18, including 4 home runs. 3 times he has won the Gold Glove. You take a look at the season numbers for Ryan Franklin last year.
Kotsay, the ex-San Diego Padre outfielder, 2 for 12 out of the gate with his new ball club. The delivery to him is a bit high, and that pitch is lined to center field right at Randy Winn. Kotsay got a nice, short, sweet stroke. Hit it on the button, but right at Randy Winn. 1 down. Bobby Kielty, the hitter now, the ex-Minnesota Twin. On the corner. This game tonight is a rematch of an exhibition start for Ryan Franklin on Monday afternoon, March the 29th. That's inside when he faced Mark Redmond at the Peoria Sports Complex. The A's won that game 6-5. Change, beautifully thrown.
Good off-speed pitch that time. Ryan's going to have to keep the ball down, although he does have a tendency now and then to get the ball up, and I think that's one of the reasons why he allowed 34 home runs last year. But if he keeps the ball down, his ball has a lot more movement to it.
Four-seam fastball up, 2-2.
Not overpowering with these fastballs. Anywhere from 88 to 91, occasionally 92 miles an hour for Ryan.
Change a little low. And there's Eric Chavez. Will be next.
I think if you were to ask Brian Price what is Ryan Franklin's best pitch, might be his slider. Second best pitch probably is his split finger. We said he's not overpowering, although he is a little sneaky every now and then. Yeah, he can jam you. Yeah, he can throw the ball by you. But I think the slider is his best pitch.
That fastball banged into right field. So Kielty aboard, and here comes Eric Chavez. Chavez on opening day again presented with the Gold Glove for third base, and in a very nice gesture. He gave the Gold Glove to his third base coach, Ron Washington, and autographed it to him, and the autograph said, "Not without you." Best wishes, Eric Chavez, because Ron Washington worked so hard with him on his fielding over the years.
What a nice gesture that is. Leading home run hitter for the A's against the Mariners last year. He hit a half a dozen. Drove in 11 against the Mariners. Dangerous hitter.
Range a little high and outside, 2-0.
You know, in a way, he's like Vladimir Guerrero, in that is he can go out of the strike zone and still hit the ball out of the ballpark or hit it hard in the gap somewhere. Yeah, you can get him to chase bad balls now and then, but got to be careful because you're liable to waste a pitch and he's liable to hit it out of the ballpark. Good power the other way, too.
Right on the corner with that one. It's 2-1.
Very important for the A's that this guy stays healthy all year long. If he does, he's going to hit you 25, 30 home runs, and he's going to drive in over 100.
2-2. Joe Torre today signing a contract will keep him the skipper of the New York Yankees through 2007. Let's put it this way. He'll be paid through 2007.
Yeah, whether he...
$19 million. How about that? $19.2 million for Joe.
Hang in there, Joe.
There the runner goes, swung on, popped up behind the plate, and it'll come back into the stand.
A little bit different wrinkle for the A's. Ken Maka being a little bit more aggressive. Bobby Kielty taking off on that last pitch. You normally don't see the A's send the runners very often. I mean, they sit around and they wait for the home run ball. Hit the ball in the gap, hit one out.
Kielty stays, and the pitch is lined into right field for a base hit. So the A's faithful cheering as they watch Eric Chavez hit a bullet into right field. On, one down.
Not that bad of a pitch. Look at that, low and outside, and Chavez just bending his knees a little bit, going down there and pulling that ball between first and second like that. That's good hitting. That's what makes this guy so dangerous. You can make a good pitch on him, and he can still hit it hard.
Well, Jermaine Dye had a horrible year last year. Right now, you look at that batting average. Of course, that's only 3 games into the season. But it looks like he's got his batting eye back. Jermaine Dye takes a strike on the inside corner. The highest paid of the Oakland Athletics. But that contract was negotiated when he was a member of the Kansas City Royals. He's making $11 million this year.
Wow.
The inside almost got him in the rib cage.
Well, Dye did have his problems against the Mariners pitching staff last year. Only hit 191 against them. Did not hit a home run, drove in 5. Let's see now, after going inside like that, is Ryan going to stay inside, or is he going to go back with maybe a slider away? Ooh, boy, got away with the pitch, too. Wanted to come inside. You can see Dan Wilson kind of moving and sliding inside. But that time, Ryan Franklin got away with the pitch. That had a lot of the plate. You're going to come inside. You're going to have to come inside. You can't miss in the plate. If you're going to come inside, either hit it on the corner or miss off the plate.
Got it. So Dye down on strikes. Took a little bit off that fastball. That almost looked like a BP fastball.
Well, either that or maybe a straight changeup. But you can see the swing that time by Jermaine Dye. Looked like he wasn't fooled that much on it. Might have been a little bit out in front.
Well, here's Hatteberg, the kid from Washington State who makes his home in Gig Harbor. 1 for 6 in the Texas series. Strike on the inside corner. A ball and a strike. on the inside corner, backing away, but it got the edge.
See, that's the beauty of either hitting the corner or missing off the plate. That tailing fastball that time started in off the plate and then came back and caught the corner. Now, had Ryan started that ball in the inside corner and have it kind of slide back over the center of the plate, Hatteberg would have been swinging and swinging hard at it.
Two and two. This is one of the smaller parts when you look at the gaps. 362, left center and right center. Deepest part of the yard is out there in deep left and right center field. Way inside, I beg your pardon, deepest part of the yard is straight away center field, 400. But even in the deepest part, left and right center field, it's only 388. A lot of power alleys around 380.
Yeah, I mean, this is the areas right here, left center and right center, where the ball seems to jump.
So the runners go now. Ground ball, Boone moves to his right, has it, off balance throw on a hop, not in time. Run comes in to score, Kielty. Boone didn't get much on his throw. 1-0 A's.
Do it off balance and didn't have anything on it. Look at this. Didn't have anything on it. And I think you can credit Hatteberg with pretty good hustle down the line.
Well, there's big Eric Karros. You look at this lineup, boy, it's a lot different than last year, the last several years. Karros last year with the Chicago Cubs. But Kielty and Kotsay and Karros and Bobby Crosby and Damian Miller, Marco Scudero. Who are these guys? They're the 2004 Oakland A's. That's who they are.
Quite a bit of different look for this club.
One hopper and a force out easily. As Aurilia goes to second base. A run on 3 hits, a couple left. We are 1 into it. The A's get 1, and after 1, lead it. Good Friday. Cool, but delightful in the Bay Area today. Clear skies tonight. It's Aurilia taking strike 1 on the outside corner. Kind of a cutter that time, or slider perhaps even. One and two. The Angels are no longer undefeated. Of course, they left Seattle with the sweep, and then they had the short turnaround. They had the opener in Texas this afternoon for over 50,000 fans at the ballpark in Texas. And the Rangers humbled the previous undefeated Halos 12-4 today. And with Paul Molitor. Molitor had a meeting with the hitters, we understand, before the ball.
Yes, he did. Just going over and just probably going over the kind of pitcher that Redmond is, and maybe what a good approach up there at the plate would be. I know Bob Melvin also, first time you play a team during the season, although the Mariners saw the A's in spring training a lot.
That's going to slice off foul.
Still, you want to go over the ball club, and so first time, whenever you play somebody, you like to kind of have a meeting and kind of refresh everybody's mind. How you want to play this particular hitter? How are you going to pitch in?
popped him up. So Scudero will make the easy catch, 1 down. April the 19th through the 22nd, these A's and Mariners will have a huge 4-game series at Safeco. All begins with the VECU Family Night, where all of you reserve tickets at just $10. April the 20th is EQC Mariners Cap Night. Wednesday the 21st is a MasterCard Grand Slam Family Pack Night. 22nd is a U.S. Bank Mariners Matinee at 1:35. And great seats are available for that series. Log on to SeattleMariners.com. 1-0 on John Olerud,
who, by the way, was the leading RBI man against the A's last year. Drove in 13 runs against them. Boone drove in 12. Edgar drove in 11.
Two on John. Olerud, a fly ball to deep center field. That's going to be over the head of the center fielder on a hop off the wall. So Mr. Olerud will stand at second base, as Mark Kotsay had no shot at all to get to that one.
Maybe in a day game that might have cleared the center field fence. It looked like it hit at the very top of the wall. Take a look at it again. Didn't need much more to get out of here. Tried to sneak a fastball by John and didn't work. There's the smooth stroke of John Olerud. Let's see where that ball lands. How high up on the fence it... Well, we can't see there. It looked like it was very high off the wall. Mariners have had a couple of chances to drive in some runs. Let's see if they can score some runs this year for Ryan Franklin. They didn't score very much for him last year.
Dan's off to a good start with the bat. 4 for 8 in the Angel series. Two and 0. Bay Area over the last several years has produced some awfully good baseball. It seems like the A's or the Giants are in the race almost every year for the last decade.
Well, yeah, but if you look at the last 5 years, the A's have won more games than any team in baseball, and the Giants are second playing at home.
High fly ball to center field and routine for Kotsay.
How about that? Let him hit 3-0. Let Dan Wilson swing the bat 3-0. We saw that done in that the Angels series where Mike Socia allowed some of the A's, or not the A's, the Angels, to swing 3-0. And Bob Melvin taking a page from that. Didn't work this time.
Quentin McCracken getting his first start, as Raul Ibanez is given at least the early part of the evening off. He'll be back in the lineup tomorrow against Tim Hudson. Report on Eddie Guardado is a good one. Threw a very outstanding bullpen session today. Will throw again tomorrow and should be ready by Saturday. Tomorrow, if he doesn't throw a bullpen tomorrow, I think that he's already talked his skipper into saying, look, if you're going to use me that, why not use me tomorrow? And he may be able to do that. Quentin McCracken, an easy comeback. So Olerud is stranded out at second base. It'll be Crosby, Miller, and Scudero when we come back. 1-0 A's. Moving to the bottom of the second, Dave Niehaus along with Ron Fairley at the Oakland Coliseum. And here is Bobby Crosby, who takes strike one on the outside corner. Crosby hit 2 home runs off Ryan Franklin in the spring on the 29th of March at Peoria Sports Complex. Swing and a miss, and he's down 2. And he's only 1 for 9 in his first 3 games. He's never hit a major league home run for real, but he did have 22 home runs for Sacramento last year. His daddy, Ed Crosby, former major league infielder, swing and a line drive right at the shortstop, Rich Aurilia. As a matter of fact, Bobby Crosby's daddy, Ed Crosby, was an A's scout, and it was Ed Crosby who signed Jason Giambi.
Well, he's going to hit some home runs. He's big for a shortstop. 6'3", weighs 190 pounds. He's going to fill out, get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger than that. But he does have excellent power.
Damian Miller, the catcher, and it's a fair ball. Good play. Outstanding play by Blomquist, having to charge, and then while on the run, make the throw.
Look at it one more time. You see the reactions of Blomquist coming in, feeling the ball. Look what off the heel of the glove a little bit. Have to reach in, make sure you re-grip, get a good grip in the ball, then fire it on over to Olerud. Look at it one more time. See if you can bobble that ball just a little bit. Get a good grip just in time. Throws out Damian Miller by about a half a stride.
So here's Scudero, claimed on waivers from the New York Mets in October of last year. Take strike one. Scudero, a native of Venezuela. Marco Scudero. Originally signed by the Cleveland Indians. Two and one on the A's second baseman. Two down in the second. High pop up. Ichiro will go into that sea of foul territory out there and make the easy catch. So 1-2-3 the story for the A's here, the bottom third of the order going in order, and still 1-0 after two.
Time on your hands, Buhner? Go to Joe's, because G.I. Joe's has everything you need to seize the weekend. The North Face is the name for premium tents, sleeping bags, and rainwear like the Venture Jacket with high vent and classics like the Denali Vest. The North Face, never stop exploring. Whether you're a baseball legend or a weekend warrior, if it's gear you need, Joe's has it.
You gotta love these guys.
So go to Joe's, grab the gear, and seize the weekend.
It's Chevy Truck Fest with an unprecedented offer. 0% APR financing for 60 months plus bonus cash on almost every Chevy truck and SUV. Lower your down payment. Lower your monthly payment. Hurry in now for this unbeatable offer. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every Silverado. Chevy Truck Fest. Turn the key. Start a revolution. See your participating Northwest Chevy dealer today.
Hi, table for two?
Name, please?
Why?
Jeffrey was paranoid. Then he got ID theft services from Washington Mutual. That added peace of mind made Jeffrey more easygoing.
You can do it. I believe you.
What are you doing? Factory recall. Oh, great. Excuse me. Here.
Yeah, looks safe to me. Okay.
No worries, Jeff.
I'm good.
Washington Mutual has your back.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Let's take a look at the Mariners' calendar. Brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Why buy a mattress anywhere else? The Mariners on their first road trip of the year, and tomorrow, a tremendous pitching matchup. Hope you will join us. It'll be Gil Mesh against Tim Hudson. Well, coverage begins at 12:30. Gil Mesh and Tim Hudson tomorrow here in game number 2. Blomquist takes a strike, leading off the third. Willie, a fly ball hit into deep left center field. Got some carry. Kotsay to the track. The wall, and it's off the wall. So Blomquist will round second with the leadoff double, and he came very close to getting that over the wall out there. To the right of the 3-8 sign. Throw gets away. Blomquist moves on down to third base. So the A's kicking it around a bit, Mr. Fairley.
Yes, they are. It's going to help things out a little bit. And I'll tell you what, very alert base running. That time by Bloomquist. Instead of being dissatisfied with getting down to second base, they throw that relay back in there. They took their time. The A's took their time. Take a look at that one more time. You can see that Kotsay had no chance whatsoever jumping up against the fence. Wasn't even close to catching the ball. But watch this after this. Now Bloomquist keeping an eye on the ball. Sees the ball getting away from the third baseman, and here he goes. Very alert play.
So the infield comes in here, and Ichiro takes a strike on 1. We'll see to whom the error goes. Ichiro jammed with that ball, almost a fair ball. The error will go to Eric Chavez. Was barely outside. Good eye by Ichiro. 1-2.
Ground ball to second. Bloomquist can score, but they pretty much have the infield drawn in. I think right now, I got to think that Myers, with nobody out, is telling Bloomquist, make the ball go through the infield. Tag up in a long fly ball, of course, but make the ball go through the infield. There's a line drive hit at one of the infield. You should never get doubled off because you're not going. You got to make the ball go through the infield. Then you go.
Ichiro, Tapper back to the mound. So that won't get the job done. And Randy Winn will be asked to get the run in. Ichiro kind of jammed with that pitch. Chased bad ball.
Don't get too anxious up there at the plate. Be a little patient. I know you want to try to tie the game up, but you have to show a little bit of patience up there. Remember, the pitcher's the one that's in trouble here, not the hitter.
Fastball away. And that's a base hit right up the middle. Just barely made the outfield grass, but with the infield in, no problem. And Randy Winn gets the tying score in with that base hit. And picking up his second RBI of the new campaign.
Good hitting that time by Randy Winn, trying to take him back up the middle. You see the pitch was inside. Fight the ball off, inside out stroke. Soft little line drive to center field. Nice at bat.
So here's Boone.
I know the games so far for the Mariners haven't presented a situation where maybe Bob Melvin can do any running because the Mariners have been trying to play catch-up. But certainly this would be an opportunity right here that he would be thinking about sending a run.
1-1. Change-up thrown that time to Boone. The fastball, 0-2.
Redmond, very similar to that of Ryan Franklin, not overpowering. In fact, Ryan probably has a better fastball than Redmond. So he has to be able to spot the fastball, locate the fastball, and then hit some off-speed pitches over.
Redmond primarily a ground ball pitcher. Best pitch, that circle changeup that he throws. Going. Off the head of the bat.
He might be going if the count goes to 2-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. This next pitch is not on the strike zone. And you get down to a 2-2 count. That's when a lot of managers like to send the runner at first base. Reason being is that the pitchers, for the most part, do not want to go 3-2. So the 2-2 pitch is going to be pretty much around the plate.
There he goes. The pitch swung on and hit off the end of the bat into straightaway right field, and Jermaine Dye will make the easy catch. So 2 outs. And after the game here on Fox Sports Net, stay tuned for the Northwest Sports Reporters. Bill Kruger will be live in studio to wrap up tonight's game. Plus news of the day, the Masters and the Blazers highlights, all this tonight after the game on FSN. A lot of the ball players, a lot of the guys on the bus coming out here talking how emotional the day was for them watching the Masters and Arnold Palmer's 50th appearance down there and last appearance. And when he finished, how emotional he was. I think all America was with Arnold Palmer with a tear in their eye as he was in the cabin and being interviewed. And finally, at the end, you could see him well up with emotion.
I'd like to see him knocking that putt for a par the last hole, wouldn't it?
Edgar fouls it straight back. 0-2 the count.
Well, he pushed it just a little bit. That wasn't an easy putt, but sure would have been nice to see him finish the 18th hole with a par.
Never, ever been a better ambassador of the game.
Nope.
Arnold Palmer. So Edgar down on strikes. The Mariners get 1. Get even here in the 3rd. And they leave 1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. New ball game, a 1-1 tie. Way out there in the outfield, the A's logo. Mark Kotsay leading it off, and he's taking the ball. He's taking his strike. Pulled up the first baseline. This is one of the ballparks that, one of the more sterile ballparks in Major League Baseball. It doesn't have a heck of a lot of character. A lot of foul territory. A lot of great baseball games that you played here, however. You were here, Mr. Curley, in '89 during the World Series when the earth shook.
Well, it shook over there at Candlestick Park.
Also shook here.
Well, yeah, and then we ended up finishing the World Series. But our vantage point from the radio booth was not the best in the world. Although it was behind home plate, but it was down the field. Right there behind the screen.
Yes. Good fastball. So he had Kotsay set up and got him on a fastball looking.
Might have been looking for something inside. Dan Wilson slipping outside. And how's that for a perfect pitch by Ryan? Right there, wasn't it? You know, every now and then, I mean, pitchers are going to make great pitches on you. You're going to get your pitches to hit. I mean, that time that Jermaine Dye was up there at the plate, nice curveball. I mean, Ryan Franklin got away with a pitch. He threw a fastball to Jermaine Dye, and he swung right through it. And then eventually struck him out.
One on Kielty, who had a ground ball into the hole on the right side for a base hit and scored the A's only run in the game.
And I bet you that during the course of a game, pitchers will probably throw 15, 20 pitches. I mean, right down the middle of the plate. And if they have a good day, that means you take the pitch or you foul it off or you miss it. And they get away with those pitches. Because they're going to make a lot of really good pitches on it. That just missed. Because they're also going to make some pitches where they're so far out of the strike zone, the hitters aren't even going to offer after the ball.
Kielty pulls it just by Olerud. Down the right field line into the bullpen area, and Ichiro will pick it up and get it back in, but not before Kielty standing at second base with a one-out double.
One more time, you can see the reaction of Olerud just beyond his reach. John going down for it, trying to smother the ball, couldn't quite get to it. Looked like that might have been 6 to 8 inches just beyond his reach.
Looked like kind of took a hop right over his glove. Eric Chavez, a strike. Chavez a line drive to right field. A base hit in the first. Chavez hit 4 home runs off Ryan Franklin.
A lot of times pitchers will give you that high leg kick and a turn back. They'll do it probably when they're not really certain about the pitch that they want to throw. After they come set.
And the shame.
Yeah, that's the inside, but they'll come set and then they'll be thinking about the pitch they're going to make to the hitter. They no, I don't want to do that. I'll just give this leg kick and the turn back. Maybe get the runner back there at second base or whatever. But rethinking the pitch that he's going to make.
Breaking ball into the stands.
So they said that timed well. Thing that a pitcher does not want to do, and that is get caught in between. Do I want to throw this pitch here, or do I want to throw a different pitch? And you don't ever want to get caught in between where you're not sure as to the pitch that you want to make. Make up your mind which one you want to throw, and then go after it. But don't get caught in between, because invariably what happens, you make a mistake with that pitch.
Two and two. Breaking ball that time toward the hole. Great stop by Boone. Gets up and throws him out. There's a gold glove play by a gold glove second baseman.
And showing some range to go along with it. Look how far he has to go, and then smothers it on the ground and bounces up to his feet. And then the throw. Boy, I tell you what, outstanding play. Saved a run. That ball gets through, then you know that Bobby Kielty is going to be able to score from second base. We're talking about getting away with a pitcher, Jermaine Dye again. That last time, he wanted to come inside. Look at that pitch is. I mean, that's right there to hit. I mean, that's a long ball right there. And then came back with the very next pitch. Same spot, different speed, and had Jermaine Dye out in front. So got away with the pitch and then came back and made a good off-speed pitch to Jermaine Dye.
Off-speed pitch there for a strike. Slider for a strike.
Do you see the way that he kind of had his hip pockets going the other way? Ryan Franklin, the first time up, pounding it in pretty much inside. Now comes back with a slider, and Jermaine Dye is looking for the ball inside. You can just tell by the way he was going that his hip pockets were going that direction.
Another one just off the outer edge.
You know, hitters go up to the plate and they look for pitches. They say, okay, if you're going to pitch me inside, if you're going to pound me inside, I'm going to look for that pitch and I'm going to hit it. Now you come back with a pitch away and you catch a lot of hitters kind of falling back on their heels. Came back inside. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see a little slider or something away.
That's Kielty down there at third base.
Stepping off, make sure you get the sign that you want. Hey, there he is. Went back away again. Now Ryan Franklin can do either one of two things. He can keep the ball away, keep the ball in. Which one do you want to do? Where do you feel you have the most confidence in getting Jermaine Dye out?
Wilson moving outside, and the pitch just popped up. A slider at that, and Olerud should have no problem. Leans with a little bit, but he does make the catch, and the A's are 90 feet away when they die from another score. So it's still tied at the end of 3 at 4. And tonight, there it is, Tuesday. On Tuesday, Hank Aaron was surpassed on a famous all-time list. Nice lead-off line drive into the corner. Look out, Rich throws off line. Rich Aurilia, first ball swinging, has a ringing double to start it here in the 4th. Welcome back home to the Bay Area. So again, a look at our trivia question. On Tuesday, Hank Aaron was surpassed on a famous all-time baseball list. Can you name that list?
I'm drawing a blank on it. All I know is he's the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen.
Olerud taking the strike, 0-1. Olerud's job, of course, is to
got to pull it.
Move that runner down to third. Outside corner.
You see, pitcher probably try to keep the ball away. Now that they have 2 strikes in John, it might come inside, getting back off the plate. You don't want to give him a pitch that he can pull.
Outside again.
In the case of a left-hand hitter, they pull the ball, being hit it to the right side of the diamond. The second baseman or the first baseman. Allow Ourilia to move over to third.
Goes the other way, but into the bullpen, foul. Olerud is not a pull hitter. He sprays it all over the lot. Now he had one he could pull that time.
I think John pretty much hits the ball where it's pitched to him. He'll hit a lot of balls in center field, a lot of balls left. But when he makes up his mind he wants to pull the ball, he can.
Down low. 2-2. There was a lot of controversy when Olerud was with the Toronto Blue Jays. Cito Gaston, you might recall, tried to get him to pull. And after that great year he had, he didn't exactly go with that philosophy.
No, he didn't.
Kotsay.
Boy, one of the few times we've seen John get hit by a pitch.
So down to first base he goes.
Tried to come inside and just catches John. Looked like it got him on the hip. Oh, nope, on the thigh.
So, if you're Bob Melvin here, what do you want to do?
Well, you got your best bunter up there. You may want to sacrifice the runners along. The A's looking for it because you have the third baseman and the first baseman playing in on the grass. So the A's expecting a sacrifice here.
And there it is, down the third baseline, but it catches the cut of the grass and kicks off foul.
See Dan trying to bunt the ball down third. If you bunt the ball and make the third baseman field it, that pretty much guarantees that Aurilia will get over to third base because there's no way that third baseman can catch it and then get back to the bag in time. Now here's what you can do defensively to counter this. Nobody's out. When the pitcher comes set, charge the first baseman and charge the third baseman. And if Dan should bunt the ball firmly, you can get a double play.
Down low and inside.
Well, they had the wheel play on where they're sending Crosby, the shortstop, to third base. But you've got to charge Chavez and Karros. And you need a strike. I mean, if you're going to put the wheel play on, you need to throw a strike. You need to have the pitcher throw the ball right down the middle of the plate and then make Dan Wilson bunt the ball. That's what you're looking for. And then that allows either the first baseman or third baseman to do whatever they want with the ball.
And this time it's not on. And Wilson swinging away.
So the wheels are turning here. You know, if you're going to put the wheel play on where you send the shortstop over to third base and you're going to charge the third baseman, the whole idea is you want to get the force out of third, right? Well, you have to tell your pitcher you got to throw a strike. Got to throw it down there. We want the guy to bunt the ball. Because if he bunts it, we have a play at third base.
A little inside. 2-2. Well, let's see what happens here. Aurilia and Olerud, I don't think you're going to be sending them.
Not that much speed out there. Kraken do up next. Not that much speed. I'd be a little bit reluctant to put it on here.
Of course, they let Wilson swing 3-0 last time, too. But I doubt if they're going. They're not. And the pitch is swung on and a ground ball. Great stop by Scudero and Bobby Crosby. They turn 2. Marco Scudero started it.
Best friend of the pitcher, and that's the double play ball. Good play by the second baseman. Nice feed to Crosby. And plenty of time to get Dan Wilson.
So they put the bunt on. The bunt is fouled away. Count goes to 2-1. They take the bunt off. And eventually end up with a double play.
Pitcher's best friend.
So here's McCracken now, and Quinton takes down low, ball 1.
Hugh had a chance to drive in a run his first time up. A tap right back to the pitcher. Switch hitter, batting right-handed, of course, off the pitcher, the left-hander. Redmond's the kind of pitcher that you can't go up there and try to pull the ball. I think if you do, you're probably going to have quite a few ground ball outs. Your best chance to hit him is to hit him back up the middle and try to go the other way. And that's what Kraken was trying to do, trying to take him in the right center field.
Fans are looking at that final out, of course. Kraken trying to deliver with 2 down.
Trying to pitch around a leadoff double.
American slowly taps it, and going to be a tough play. Picked up there, barehanded. Chavez has got him. Outstanding play by the Gold Glove third baseman Eric Chavez to save a run. And so we will go to the bottom of the fourth, and thanks to great defense by that little guy right there, we're still even. The Mariners won. The A's won. The only thing he did was go into a ball game, and the answer is David Ardsman of the San Francisco Giants now retains the first entry in the baseball encyclopedia, AARD, instead of AARO.
That's the only way he's going to pass.
Hatteberg with the count of ball and the strike.
Hatteberg, pretty good eye up there at the plate. Doesn't swing at very many bad pitches. Makes the pitcher throw strikes. Tough out.
Rocky. Leadoff base on balls, not a good sign. The Mariners return home a week from tonight to host the Rangers. Also, Boeing Salute the Kids weekend. So get the whole family together. Come on out. Enjoy the first weekend series of the season at Safeco Field, a 3-game series featuring a free T-shirt giveaway for the first 15,000 kids 14 and under at each game. So good seats available. For tickets, you visit any Mariners team store. Eric Karros hit a ground ball to shortstop. Strike one to him.
I was talking to Eric prior to the ball game, and I asked him, I said, do you see any difference thus far in the difference in the strike zone between the American League and National League? And he says, well, it's too early in the season to really tell, but in spring training, he says, I really didn't see that much different. It's pretty much the same pitches that I had to hit over in the National League, I'm seeing over here in the American League.
Well, you're not gonna see that anymore with the integration of the umpires.
No,
both American and National League, no designation. That was a big difference. The American League umpires, when they had their own little club, had a little bit of a different strike.
Well, they did, but I was also talking to him not only about that, but also are the pitchers in the league throwing you maybe more fastballs or curveballs? And he says, no, it's too early to tell just yet.
Karros a fly ball to right field. So one away. Bobby Crosby, the hitter, he hit the ball right on the button, but right to Aurilia, the shortstop, in the second. Crosby, the #1 draft choice of the Oakland Athletics out of Cal State Long Beach in 2001. At the knees. Cincinnati beating Pittsburgh 5-1. Junior another home run in that game. Didn't see him healthy. Junior now 17 away from 500.
Ryan put together quite a year for himself. Had career highs in wins, starts, inning pitch, strikeouts, hits allowed, home runs allowed. Had a good year. Just didn't have a great deal of run support. Had one of the best ERAs in the league. And as we pointed out, hopefully this year, maybe the Mariners can score a few more runs for Ryan.
So far tonight, that's not been the case.
Well, you know, you take a look at the 13 losses that Ryan had last year. 11 of the 13 losses, the Mariners scored 2 or less runs in those games. So Like I said, not a lot of run support.
Olerud will stand on the grass and move back onto the dirt to make the catch. So 2 down, and Damian Miller will be the hitter, the catcher. Damian Miller hit a roller slowly top down the third baseline, and Bloomquist made a great play to throw him out in the second. Miller, of course, a former Arizona Diamondback, caught Randy Johnson many games. Hit high foul off the first base side, not a play.
Well, you take a look at what Damian Miller did with Arizona and the Cubs, ended up having a very good year. Pretty good numbers for a catcher, 20 home runs, 78 runs driven in. When you combine those two teams that he played for last year.
That's a rope toward the corner. May score. Hatteberg from first base. It will not. Hatteberg will pull up at third on the double by Damian Miller. Quick reaction by Quentin McCracken to get on to that ball before it got in the corner.
That's why when you're in a close game like this with 2 men out and a runner at first base, you always want to back up a little bit. You don't want the ball to be hit between you in the outfield. You can see that right down the line, and then also in being able to play just a little bit deeper allows you to cut the ball off. You got a little bit more time to get down to the corner. Hatteberg, seeing the play right in front of him, realizes that that's as far as he can go. But a nice defensive play by McCracken. Give your pitcher a chance. We have said so many times the scoreboard dictates how you play.
Scudero's the hitter.
Once again, about 2 men out and a runner at first base. The outfield wants to back up just a little bit. You want the ball hit over your head. If it does, it should leave the yard. Make them get 2 hits to score a run. Don't allow that ball to get past you there in the outfield and allow that runner at first base to score. That's why you back up a little bit. Play it a little deeper and cut across. So you're allowed to blow in your hand while standing on the mound. It's a little cool down here in the Bay Area. Beautiful this afternoon, but this evening it's cooled off a bit.
Slider lined into right center field. That's going to pick up 2. It's also going to go all the way to the wall. So Scudero to second base, and the A's lead it 3-1. A little slider looked like it hung right out over the plate.
Just kind of hung there a little bit for him. Scudero shooting out into right center field, the first couple of RBIs on the season for him. Take a look at it again. You can see didn't get it quite far enough away.
So 3-1 A's, and here's Kotsay. And Kotsay pulls it into the corner. That'll pick up Scudero. Kotsay goes into second base. So back-to-back doubles, 2-out doubles by Damian Miller and by Marco Scudero and Mark Kotsay. 4-1 Oakland.
Dave, in the first 4 games that we have seen the Mariners this year, the one thing that sticks out that the Mariners were very, very good at last year, and getting off to a little bit of a slow start this year, and that is with 2 men out in an inning of not being able to finish the inning and get out of the inning. Pinheiro had some trouble. I mean, there's runs that were scored off of Hasegawa yesterday, but so far in just the first 4 games, that the other team, the opposing teams, the Angels and now the A's, have scored a lot of runs with 2 men out. And that goes in cycles.
Strike 1 to Kielty.
76 pitches by Ryan Franklin thus far. 4th inning, which means that Mariners bullpen will be used again tonight.
This count brought to you by Quest, Spirit of Service. 1-1.
And once again, those base on balls come back to haunt you. A leadoff walk to Hatteberg, and he eventually scores.
A's with 7 hits and 4 of them doubles. So down on strikes is Kielty, but a bit of damage done here against Mr. Franklin by the A's in the 4th as they score 3. And as we go to the 5th, Oakland up by 3, 4-1. Blomquist just missed a home run. He hit it high off the left center field fence. 388 mark. Jammed him, popped him up, and can't quite make the play. Eric Carroll.
Good effort. It looked like that was right off the end of the glove. Right at the very tip, and then all of a sudden tossed it right on out.
Blomquist went after a ball out of the strike zone. Well, the A's have played some fabulous defense. For example, last inning, have a look at this. Great play by the second baseman to start the double play. Scudero. Another outstanding play. The trickler down wide of third, picked off by the third baseman Chavez to throw out the runner. Our GMC professional grade moment brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Ichiro 1 for 2. Scudero will throw him out. Randy Winn, with the infield drawn in, drove in the only Mariner run with a little soft line drive to center field. Third inning. One and oh. One. Again tomorrow, Mesh and Hudson will be with you at 12:30. Long run. one, and on the sprint, Kotsay is there to make the catch to retire the side here in the 5th. 3 up and 3 down, so halfway through this one, the A's have the advantage 4-1.
The Coliseum, the A's lead by a score of 4-1. They had 3 big runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's a look at the game recap brought to you by Rico. How well do you print copies, scan, and fax? A couple of big hits for the Oakland A's in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 1 on and 2 away. This is Scudero with a drive into the gap in right center, Hendu.
Well, when you talk about the big hit, that was a 3rd double in a row, and the young kid Scudero comes up with a big hit, put the Mariners in a hole right there. Didn't quite know how to pitch this guy. Doesn't have a lot to go with. And then, of course, Kotsay gets a forkball out over the place, and he hits a double. So it was double trouble for the Mariners that inning.
So 3 runs with 2 outs. Now we go to the bottom of the 5th, and Eric Chavez to lead things off. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with David Henderson. Mariners looking for that first win of the season. Still plenty of time left to go in this ball game to try to get to Mark Redmond.
Oh, yeah, they have a lefty out there pitching similar to Jamie Moyer, and they have to get an idea of that changeup. Everybody knows Moyer can get you off balance, but it's all in Ryan Franklin's hands right now. He has to keep the A's right there.
Eric Chavez takes a slider lone inside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Chavez is 1 for 2 with a single into right field, and it took a great play by Brett Boone to retire Chavez in the 3rd. Well hit the other way, down the left field line, deep into the corner, off the base of the fence, fair ball. Chavez in at second base with a leadoff double. Man, is he strong. He knows he's going to be pitched away.
Well, he's seen about 15 pitches in his couple at bats and 12 up more away, so he can kind of step over there and he can wait on the ball, and you know he has power that way. He hits a lot of his home runs that way, and if you're going to continually pitch him out there, and this ball was up in the strike zone, so he didn't have to elevate it. He has a little knowledge that they're going to throw him outside.
Brings up right fielder Jermaine Dye. Dye is hitless in 2 at-bats. Fastball for a strike. Dye has struck out. He's also popped up to John Olerud. Left-hander Ron Vallone down in the bullpen. Off the end of the bat, foul, and it's 0-2. Offensively, the key in this batting order on this Oakland ball club is the veteran Jermaine Dye hitting behind Eric Chavez.
Over the course of the year, a lot of teams are going to pitch around Chavez, especially right-handed pitchers, and they're going to go after Jermaine Dye, so he's going to have to be an accomplished breaking ball hitter this year.
Breaking ball down and away, 1-2.
And I think one thing, when that happens, they walk the guy, ball for the guy in front of you a lot. You have to stay under control and realize that you're not a 1,000 hitter. You're going to make outs sometimes when they do that.
Inside, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Franklin very successful against these A's last year. He was 3-1 against Oakland. Chavez on at second. Pops him up. Behind home plate, Dan Wilson off with a mask. He's got some room back there. It's just beyond his reach. Just on the other side of the screen, and it's still 2-2 on Dye.
And that was a great sequence by Dan Wilson and Ryan Franklin. They threw him a fastball inside, so naturally as a hitter, you're thinking, they threw him a fastball inside, they're trying to set up the breaking ball away. But they came right back in with a fastball to tie up Dye. They made the pitch, got the result, just went over the back screen. Jermaine Dye stays alive. So they executed that perfectly.
That's the experience of having a Dan Wilson back there, taking a look at a hitter to see what kind of adjustments he makes, so you can make adjustments to what he's trying to do.
Well, the old rules, up and in, low and away, they just kind of threw a curve into that, and they backed it up. 2 fastballs inside.
That's fouled out of play, and it's still 2-2.
And Jermaine Dye loses the bat because he had to try to reach for that slider away after those 2 fastballs inside.
1 on, nobody out, bottom of the 5th inning. The A's lead 4-1. Texas a winner this afternoon. It was their home opener, and they beat the Anaheim Angels 12-4.
Everybody's standing around a little bit. A ball loose in the right field. Ichiro has to retrieve it.
Ron Vallone getting ready down in the Mariner bullpen. Veteran left-hander Eddie Guardado getting closer and closer. Eddie threw this afternoon about 35 or 40 pitches down in the bullpen. We're going to see how he feels tomorrow. All 3, full count 3-2. I was talking with Eddie prior to the ball game. He says there's a chance that we could possibly see him hopefully sometime in this series. There's a look at Eddie, who had 41 saves last year with the Minnesota Twins, 45 saves the year before. Inside, ball 4. Jermaine Dye with a walk, and the A's have runners at first and second. Still nobody out here in the 5th. Well, the MasterCard Grand Slam Family Pack marks the return of the best deal in baseball. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 Pepsi sodas for only $50. The first family pack of the season is coming up next homestand Wednesday, April the 21st, when the Mariners face the Oakland A's. Great View Reserve Family Pack locations right behind home plate are available now at Ticketmaster and all Mariners team stores. Pitching coach Brian Price out to check up on Ryan Franklin. His pitch count getting up there. It's already 91, and he's still looking for an out here in the 5th inning.
I'll give him a couple of words of encouragement because he pitched Jermaine Dye perfectly. Even the 3-2 pitch was a fastball on the inside corner, only missed by inches. So he made the pitch, just moved out of the strike zone an inch or 2.
He's a tough kid from Spiro, Oklahoma. And there's a look at the left-hander Ron Vallone down in the bullpen. Scott Hatteberg is due up next. Ryan Franklin, so reliable last year. He pitched into the 6th inning in 32 of his 33 starts. Hatteberg takes a strike in the outside corner, off-speed pitch, 0-1.
I think this is if you're a defensive player, you're on the Mariners side, you're saying hit it to me. I want to make a play for Ryan Franklin because last year we didn't score him a lot of runs every time he started.
Yeah. Popped up behind home plate, up here to the booth. Just off to our right and into the radio booth of the Oakland A's, where Bill King is broadcasting for Oakland.
Well, the King didn't even flinch. He's seen a few of those balls over the years. The last 100 years of broadcasting.
Here in the Bay, Bill King, the longtime voice on radio for the Oakland A's. Popped up, and this one is out of play. First base side, and the count is 0-2 on Hatteberg.
Bill King did something very special for me in my first major league hit as a Mariner against Oakland. He called it, and he gave me a tape of it, and of course it was a home run. Bill King call.
Oh yeah,
I still have the tape of it.
Very nice. There he is, Bill King. Also did NBA basketball here in the Bay Area for many years, and Raiders football. Ground ball to shortstop Rich Aurilia. Second, there's 1. On to first, and there's 2. And on the play, Chavez moves along to third base, but they get Dye at second and double up Hatteberg at first.
Well, that's what I was talking about. It hit it to me. We owe you Ryan Franklin. Last year, we didn't score a lot, but we want to throw some leather for you. Make a play. Nice routine play for Aurilia. A little flip to Brett Boone. A lot of time at second base. Easy double play.
So 2 outs, and Ryan Franklin has a chance to get out of some trouble if he can get first baseman Eric Karros. Karros, he is 0 for 2. Karros with the Cubbies
last season, batted .286. Popped up. Thought we might have a chance for this one, and the count is 0-1. Into the upper deck.
Eric Carroll's a 12-year veteran, and he's looking for a crippled pitch. He has to cheat a little bit. Last year he was a platoon player, faced a lot of left-handers, so cheating, I mean, you have to look for fastballs, start the bat a little earlier, not get into breaking ball counts because you can't handle the good breaking balls anymore.
Low, ball one, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Old veterans find a way to stay around in the game and hit a few clutch home runs because they can work the count and they have knowledge of how pitchers pitch, and they do their homework and they cheat a little bit. They start that bat a little early on a fastball count.
Broken bat, ground ball out near the bag at second. Aurilia is there to make the play, and that's it for the A's as Ryan Franklin gets out of trouble. And after 5, the A's lead 4-1.
Honey?
High ball 1 on Boone. Brett 0 for 2 has bounced out to Chavez at third. He's also flied out to Diane Wright. Ball 2. Mark Redmond's fastball anywhere between 80 and 85 miles an hour. Doesn't throw hard, relies on off-speed pitches, changes speeds. Ground ball to Chavez at third. Toss across, and it's in time to get Boone. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 6th. Well, there's a look at the Coliseum in the background. In the foreground, the home of the NBA Warriors here in Oakland, and they've got a game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves while we're playing the A's this evening. There's Claxton to foil with the lay-in, and Golden State is taking a lead.
And we're talking about 50 feet or 50 yards away from us. That's where they play.
And on the other side of the parking lot.
And I would know.
You went over there and shot some basketball?
Well, the doors are open where our game's going on all the time, so I tend to wander when I'm not playing.
Edgar Martinez trying to get something going with 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. He told the story the other day about DH in Kansas City. He took a walk up into the stands.
Yeah, through the tunnels and with my bat, though.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well hit deep to left field. Kielty on the run, can't get there. It's on the track and off the wall. Edgar heading for second. The throw by Kielty back in, and Edgar slides in safely with a 1-out double.
Well, you start to wait for the Mariners to jump on one of the mistakes of Redmond. Here's a pitch where he catches the middle of the plate, right down the middle. And you look at Edgar, it's up in the zone, and those are the type of pitch you're supposed to hit. You can't let the left-hander get away with that. You see Edgar turning on a little bit. This ball hit the wall and bounced right back to Kielty. He made a strong throw to second base.
So Edgar at second, 1 out. Brings up Rich Aurilia, who also doubled, leading off the 4th. 1 for 2. Ball 1.
Well, if you've seen this type of pitching before, Redmond's very similar to Jamie Moyer, just that his changeup doesn't dive down and away like Jamie's. It has the same velocity, about 75 miles an hour.
High and outside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Jamie with that circle change acts like a lot of times like a screwball to a right-handed hitter. It's a lot of infield outs. 83 pitches for Redmond. For Redmond, like Jamie Moyer, Hindu will make you expand the strike zone. Popped up and out of play, and it's 2-1 on Aurilia.
I think the most important thing that these left-handed soft throwers do is they make you think. They make you outthink yourself sometimes. They have you looking for that changeup so much that the fastball gets by you, and that's the pitch you really want to hit, the fastball. You don't want to be late.
One on, one away.
Broken bat, ground ball up the middle. Crosby with a diving stop, no throw, and it's a base hit for Aurilia.
Edgar to third. the bat shatters in the hands of Rich Aurilia. Bobby Crosby with a nice diving stop in behind second base to keep the ball in the infield.
Well, he shows a very athletic play. You look at this ball, it's right over the pitcher, and it really hits it off the end of the bat. But Crosby, he makes a dive, then he makes a heads-up play, a veteran play. He doesn't have time to throw to first base, so he holds the ball. Doesn't want to throw it away.
Here's a look at it one more time. Bobby Crosby with a stop, no play at first, checks in with Edgar. So first and third, one out, and the batter is first baseman John Olerud. 4-1 Oakland.
So he made an athletic play, then he made a brainy play by not throwing the ball away to first base, trying to rush things.
John Olerud 1 for 1, doubled a straightaway center back in the second, hit by a pitch in the fourth. And a right-hander begins to warm up in the Oakland bullpen. That's Chad Bradford, submarine-style pitcher.
Watch him throw one pitch, you know who it is.
Line drive, base hit, right field. Here comes Edgar on to score. Down to second goes Aurilia. John Olerud an RBI single, and it's now Oakland 4 and the Mariners 2, and the Mariners now have the tying runs aboard. So John doesn't stick around. He jumps on that first pitch from Mark Redmond.
Well, John Olerud, he likes hitting here. That's his second hit of the night, and Redmond hit him in the hip last time up. Gets a fastball right out over the plate, gets it up in the air. Of course, Redmond looking for that ground ball double play. John Olerud right on it, bangs it into right field.
So 2 aboard, still only 1 away for catcher Dan Wilson.
Catcher Dan Wilson.
And there's a look at right-hander Chad Bradford with that submarine-style delivery. Time call, new pitching coach Kurt Young out to the mound for the A's, former teammate of yours, Ender.
Well, this is what we call the 20-second timeout. We saw a basketball highlight a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
You want to stop the water from going downhill. You don't go out there and say much. You just kind of stall a little bit for Bradford to get warm. You know you only have 1 or 2 hitters left. If he doesn't get the ground ball, he's probably out of the ball game. So it's one of those things where the pitching coach, it's not much strategy going on. He's saying, hey, you know, you got guys on base, you know, keep the ball down, throw your pitches. By the way, I'm waiting for the the guy to get loose in the bullpen.
You know why I'm out here. I'm just slowing you down a little bit right here.
20-second timeout.
Olerud on at first, Willie on at second. Van Wilson coming off a good series at home against the Angels, 4 for 8. Takes outside, ball 1. Mariners have 1 home run on the season. Brett Boone a couple of days ago against the Angels. Go-ahead run at the plate. There's a strike on Dan, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Since they built the new section of bleachers out there in the outfield, left center field, right center field, only 362 from home plate. Dan Wilson just looking for a base hit. Fouls one away off the screen behind the plate, and the count is now 1-2 on Dan. Now left-hander Ricardo Rincon joining Bradford down in the Oakland bullpen. Fly ball into right field, dive backing up. And he's there to make the catch. Tagging at second, heading for third. Aurilia, the throw to the infield is cut off by Bobby Crosby. But 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 6th. A's lead by a score of 4-2. Well, Fox Sports Net across America this week looks at A-Rod and Derek Jeter and how the two are getting along on the infield. Plus, why golf crowds have changed and what can be done. FSN Across America airs Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on FSN. Folks, I hope you had a chance to watch the Masters today to see Arnold Palmer walk up the 18th fairway for the 50th and final time. At the Masters in Augusta. Here is Holbert Cabrera getting ready to make his Mariner debut. He'll go up there to pinch hit for Quentin McCracken. So this is Cabrera, who Mariners picked up right at the end of spring training from the Los Angeles Dodgers in the trade for the minor league pitchers Aaron Looper and Ryan Ketchner. Cabrera last year with the Dodgers batted .282, 6 home runs, 37 runs batted in.
And we have to remember we have a battery that was in the National League last year, Redmond and Miller, so they know a lot about Cabrera. It isn't one of those things where he's going to sneak up on anybody and they don't know how to pitch him.
So 2 on, 2 outs, tying run at first base. It's Olerud, who really is on at third. And Cabrera takes ball 1. Ourilia at third. John Olerud at first base. 1 run in here in the top half of the 6th. Swing and a foul back. Took a pretty good rip, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, the reason you send Cabrera up there is you're kind of looking for an extra base hit in this situation, a double to try to get you tied.
Fouled away behind home plate, and the count goes to 1 and 2. Cabrera spent a lot of time with the Cleveland Indians before moving over to the Dodgers. Cabrera 2 for 12 against Mark Redmond. Fouled away again, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out, the double by Edgar. Back-to-back singles by Aurilia and Olerud. Now 2 outs. Line drive caught by the second baseman Scudero, and that will end the inning. Mariners get 1, and we go to the bottom half of the 6th. They're in Oakland. A's lead 4-2. G.I. Joe's, your sports and auto store. A's lead 4-2, bottom half of the 6th inning. Ron Vallone takes over in relief for Ryan Franklin, delivers a strike on Bobby Crosby 0-1. Holbert Cabrera takes over in left field for Quentin McCracken. So Ron Vallone on in relief. At the knees on Crosby, and it's 0-2.
Look at Vallone's numbers. He had 19 starts last year, 6-6 record, 4.13 ERA. You look at the 91 strikeouts. He does have a put-you-away pitch.
Way outside for ball 1, 1 and 2. Franklin's pitch count got up there. Fastball up and in, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The value of a Ron Vallone to give you some innings in the middle part of the ball game. Made the 19 starts last year for the Astros. Low, ball 3, full count 3-2 on Crosby. You don't want to lose him after you go 0-2. On deck is catcher Damian Miller. And he got him swinging. So Ron Vallone strikes out Bobby Crosby with a fastball up and away. 1 out for the A's here in the 6th. And here's Damian Miller. Well, great seats are available for the first Super Tuesday of the season on April the 20th when the Mariners host the A's. It's also EQC Mariners Cap Night for the first 20,000 fans, 21 and over. It's an early season Super Tuesday giveaway that you don't want to miss. For tickets, visit SeattleMariners.com for your source for tickets to upcoming games, news, Major League Baseball TV, game day audio, and much more. 0-1 on Miller. 0-2. Miller is 1 for 2. Nice play by Willie Bloomquist to retire Miller back in the second. Then he doubled and scored one of 3 Oakland runs in the bottom of the fourth. Those 3 runs came in with 2 outs. A ball, 2 strikes.
Now we look at Ryan Franklin, the 98 pitches in 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, a couple of walks, but he gutted out to get to 5 innings.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Ron Vallone with back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom half of the 6th. He fans Crosby and now Damian Miller.
Now you want to look at overpower and put your waist up. Here's a fastball just right up, about the letter high, and the old adage, if it's up, you can't hit it, can't reach it, can't hit it. Don't swing at it.
Swing. Here's second baseman Marco Scudero. Scudero with the big hit in this game. 2 outs and 2 on. Hit a 2-run double to right center field in the 4th to break up a 1-1 tie. The A's recently signing veteran infielder Mark McLemore. Sky high pop-up left side. Shortstop Rich Aurilia is there, and he makes the catch. Falls down, hangs onto the baseball, and that's it for the A's here in the 6th. We go to the 7th. A's lead 4-2. Not just oil, Pennzoil, and by Sterling Savings, the perfect fit bank. Close one tonight here in the East Bay of Oakland. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The A's lead by a score of 4-2. And veteran left-hander Ricardo Rincon takes over in relief for the A's.
7-year veteran Rincon, a good slider that comes in to face mostly left-handed hitters. Look at his numbers: 64 ball games, 8-4 record, 40 Ks, 32 base on ball.
Willie Bloomquist leads off the inning with a swing and a miss 0-1. Willie double and scored the Mariners' first run back in the 3rd. It was a heads-up play after the double, after the throw came in from the outfield. It got on by the cutoff man, Scudero, to Chavez. Chavez flipped the ball to the pitcher, Redmond, but wide of Redmond, and Willie advanced to 3rd base. Then scored 1 out later on the base hit to center field by Randy Winn. Just a heads-up play by Willie.
Always keep your eye on the baseball. Even though the play might seem to be over, the ball's not dead.
Willie with a couple of fine plays defensively, asks for time, and he gets it from home plate umpire Paul Nauert. One and 2.
Oh, Willie's got to find a way to grind this at bat out. Find a way to fight the ball up the middle or the other way so he can cover all the pitches, the slider and the fastball.
Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch. 1 away for the Mariners here in the 7th. Brings up Ichiro. Ichiro's 1 for 3. Well, right after the ball game tomorrow, stay tuned for NSR Before the Bigs featuring Mariner and fan favorite Ichiro. This documentary begins in Kobe, Japan when he was 19 and tells the story of how he became a Mariner. NSR Before the Bigs with Ichiro tomorrow following the game on FSN. Great series presented by FSN. These guys have gone halfway around the world to get the great stories on how these guys got into baseball and made it to the major leagues.
Ground ball, left side, diving stop. Crosby from a knee, the throw to first, and it gets on by Karros.
But now too far behind him. That's going to be a base hit for Ichiro, but what a play by Bobby Crosby to get to the ball.
As I compliment on him on the first dive, he had the brains and intelligence not to throw it, but when you dive to your right in the hole, you got no chance to get Ichiro at first base. This should have been a ball that he picked up, looked, and not thrown. From one knee, you're not going to throw Ichiro out. Everything has to be perfect to throw this guy out. You gotta know to pocket that ball.
No chance. 1 on, 1 away, and here is center fielder Randy Winn. Randy is 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 3rd. Falls time. Randy grew up in nearby Danville, just a few minutes away from the Oakland Coliseum. Ball 1. High school teammate of Randy Winn's, Mark Madsen, is playing in the NBA with the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight against the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, that's the same guy that was dancing on the celebration when the Lakers won their championship. Bad dancing.
Inside ball 2-0. A college teammate of Randy's when Randy played basketball at Santa Clara is Steve Nash of the Dallas Mavericks. He'll be in town on Sunday with the Mavericks.
Hope he doesn't pick Randy Winn to go over and play with him. He's got a baseball game to play.
Yeah, Randy's going to be busy. Outside ball 3. 3-0 on Winn.
And Randy Winn, being the scholar that he is, he's figured out that we got to get Brett Boone to the plate. He's not going to get a chance to face Rincon. He has Bradford ready for Boone, but you got to try to get on the base and draw a walk any way you can to get those runners out there.
Takes a pitch, a strike, and it's now 3-1 on Randy. Here's a look at Chad Bradford getting ready for the A's with Boone due up next. And it's outside for ball 4. So Randy Winn with a walk. That'll send Brett Boone up to home plate. Now the Mariners have the tying runs aboard. It's 4-2 Oakland. 1 out. And catcher Damian Miller out to the mound to buy some more time for Bradford. Warming up down to the bullpen. Skipper Ken Maka's second year at the helm of the A's, replacing Art Howe.
Now this is the part I don't understand. What's going on here? You just you go out there and get the left-hander, but
there he goes.
It's one of those things. What, are you being coy? Everybody knows you're going to make the move. This isn't poker.
He's buying a little bit of time, and Kenny Maka with that slow walk to the mound.
There are not many secrets in baseball. You know, Bradford's on the team to face Boone. Simple as that.
Van Edgar is due up after Boone.
Yeah. I don't even know why you got to walk out there. I just point like there, like you're bringing in an airplane. Just point in, you go out.
Not a big surprise. He finally makes the call for Bradford, so Bradford will take over in relief. Don't go away. We'll be back after this timeout.
Place is a school and family support agency that's dedicated.
And Sunday is a Jamie Moyer t-shirt giveaway. Wear them to school, practice, the ballpark, everywhere. For tickets, visit any Mariners team store. The new pitcher for the Oakland A's, right-hander Chad Bradford.
And when we get a look at that windup, we'll show you why he is effective. He throws from down under. Laredo, 72 ball games, 7-4 record, 3.04 ERA, 62 strikeouts, 30 base on balls. But he's facing a guy that really likes him, Brett Boone. You look at the numbers, he's 5 for 9 off of him. So Brett Boone, maybe he likes looking from down under.
That Laredo pitch from Chad Bradford.
And normally that's a tough at-bat for most right-handers because you don't get a good look at it where it's coming from, and the ball dives down and in the right-handers. So it's tough to dig out. That's why Maka brought him in to get the double play ground ball.
Great speed on the bases, Winn at first. And each are on at second with 1 out. Low and inside on Boone. Ball 1.
And you saw the motion on that pitch. It started inside corner and ended up almost hitting Brett Boone. So that's the kind of action you're going to see on that sinker.
Boone looking for his first base hit tonight. Tying run at first. Up and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes account. Ender, you had to hit against one of the toughest submarine-style hitters I've ever seen in baseball, the closer for the Kansas City Royals back in the 1980s, Dan Quisenberry.
Oh, that's why he was a closer. He was real good. He had about 3 pitches, a good breaking ball and a sinker and a knuckleball from down under there, if you can believe that.
Fastball strike, and it's 2-1 on Boone.
I like to say I faced Dan Quisenberry. I didn't hit him very much. I think the vision we see, we see so much of deliveries over the top. So our little window as a hitter, you look up there, and when it comes from down there, you get a peek at that white rubber, and the ball just comes out of there.
Out of play on the first base side, and the count is even on Boone at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As you take a look at third baseman Eric Chavez playing way back at third and near the line. Yeah, you're looking at a whole lot different release point with a guy like Bradford.
And an old trick they used to use is they put the rosin bag right in line on top of the hill, right in line where the ball's coming out, and you'd have to move this rosin bag off the rubber. He put it right here, and it'd be right in your vision.
Inside at the knees, ball 3, full count, 3-2 on Brett. Brett Boone with the 1 home run for the Mariners this year. Came a couple of days ago in the 10-7 loss at home against the Angels.
And you have to look for the runners to be going right here, because the odds are Brett Boone is going to hit a ground ball. And when you have speed on the bases, you might as well use it.
Runners get their leads, and they stay. Here's a pitch. Swung on, ground ball through the right side. Ichiro running third, heading home. Jermaine dies. Throw to the plate, cut off by Hatteberg. Ichiro scores, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Mariners cut the lead to within 1. RBI single to right field by Brett Boone. Ichiro scores from second. Down to second base goes Randy Winn, who now represents the tying run of the game.
Well, we'll take a look at how this goes. That fastball sinks down and in, and he throws the breaking ball up and away. But he wants a ground ball. You see the strike there, the action on that ball, and the fastball up a little bit, the one he should have handled, trying to go down and in again, and then the fastball, he has to throw a strike. He gets it down, but Brett Boone does a nice job fighting it off to the right side.
A look at some higher standards brought to you by Bank of America. Clutch base hit Brett Boone to make it a 1-run game. 4-3 Oakland. And here is designated hitter Edgar Martinez. 0-1. Edgar doubled and scored in the 6th inning. Hit one deep into the gap in left center field. Now the go-ahead run is on at first base. 1-1.
Well, Randy Winn, Rick, has got to be looking at Bradford to see if he gives him a 1 look back there at second base. And you always have the green light if you're Ichiro and Winn. If the pitcher gives you a 1 look and goes to the plate, 1 look goes to the plate, you time it and you get a good jump. You steal that base.
And a curve is in there for a strike on Edgar, and it's now 1-2. Chavez playing back at third base. Here's a look at the A's defense. Winn at second, Boone on at first. Only 1 out. They give Edgar the gap in left center field. Kotsay, the center fielder, shaded way into right center. Ground ball down the line, but foul, and the count is still 1-2 on Edgar Martinez. Broke his bat on the swing.
Well, that's that sinker down and in. That's how you produce a ground ball. The batter's either got to pull it foul, and if he keeps it in play, it's going to be on the ground, and he's not going to hit it very hard. Brett Boone did a nice job of inside outing that pitch, getting it to the right side.
right center field, and shallow on the run, Dye, and Jermaine gets there to make the catch. 2 outs. Ball stayed up there, and the runners have to stay. Winn at second and Boone at first base. Sends up Rich Aurilia. A left-hander, Chris Hammond, down in the Oakland bullpen. John Olerud is due up next to left-handed bat. And remember, with McCracken starting in left field, Bob Melvin has the left-handed bat of Raul Ibanez on the bench. Rich Aurilia 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Rich Aurilia playing here in the Bay Area for the last 8 years with the San Francisco Giants. Last year with San Francisco, hit .277. Way outside with a breaking ball for ball 1, 1-1.
And the Giants and the A's see a lot of each other in spring training, and of course they have a Subway Series before they start the season every year, and Rich Aurilia very acquainted with his pitching staff.
You guys played in a World Series with San Francisco back in 1989. Up and away, a fastball, ball 2, 2-1. Earthquake striking that year during the middle of the World Series between the A's and the Giants at Candlestick Park.
Yeah, we like to say we did all the playing. The Giants did get all the beating. 4-zip.
Ended up sweeping the series. Time called. Rich Aurilia looking for a clutch base hit with 2 on and 2 outs here in the 7th. A's lead 4-3. Base hit ties it. A drive into the gap and a chance to take the lead. Because with 2 outs, Boone's going to be going on contact.
Well hit into the gap in right center field. Randy Winn will score and tie it. Brett Boone being waved in around third base. The throw in cut off by Scudero. Here comes Boone on to score, and the Mariners have the lead. A clutch 2-out, 2-run double by Rich Aurilia into the gap in right center field, and it's now the Mariners 5 and the A's 4.
And Rick Aurelia's 4th double on the year, and he's been the hot man. We talk about clutch base hits. This is it. Trying to get that sinker down and in. No, it's out over the plate. Bradford misses his location. Rich Aurilia makes him pay, hits it in the right center, and it's a tough pitch to get up in the air. Brett Boone knows he's the winning run right there. Go-ahead run. He has to score. Put the Jets on. The ball's in the gap, and he carries a mail.
Now they're going to take the bat away from John Olerud. Here's the reaction of Bob Melvin inside that dugout. The extra base hit by Rich Aurilia with 2 outs.
Pretty cool customer. I got more excited than he did.
You jumped out of your seat.
I like to see guys get clutch base hits. Not how many you get, it's when you get them, Rick.
Better believe it. And that was awfully well timed by Rich Aurilia. 3 runs are in. The Mariners have the lead 5-4. Really now with 7 runs batted in on the season, and there is ball 4. So John Olerud with the intentional walk, and it'll bring up catcher Dan Wilson. So runners on now at first and second, still 2 outs. And here's Dan.
The batter, catcher Dan Wilson.
Mariners looking for their first win of the season. Olerud at first, Aurilia down at second. Ricardo Rincon charged with 2 of the 3 runs. Bradford the other. Check swing, fouled away, 0-1.
Gave you a classic case of missing your location. Wanted that fastball down and in to Aurilia. Got it out over the plate. You miss your location about 17 inches. It gets hit hard.
Low and inside for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think that's where the confusion is sometimes. It wasn't the wrong pitch. It was the wrong location.
Yeah, too much of the plate. Really hit it hard deep into the gap in right center field. The drive home Winn and Boone. That's low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Mariners had success against the A's last year. They were 12-7 against Oakland. Time called. Here comes pitching coach Curt Young out of the dugout. In the meantime, the left-hander Chris Hammond continues to warm up for the A's.
Well, the last time they faced Bradford, September 27th, had 4 hits and 3 runs. So the Mariners treat Bradford unruly. Look at Maka right there. Made all the right moves, but sometimes the chess pieces just don't work out.
Still have to get the job done. Red Boone, an RBI single. Rich Aurilia, a 2-run double. Dan Wilson looking to extend the inning. Fouls it away, 2-2. Have the lead for the first time in this game. Line drive left center field. Here comes Rich Aurilia on to score. Base hit. Dan Wilson. Olerud around to third. The throw will go into second base. You talk about a clutch base hit. Right there, Dan Wilson, and the Mariners now lead Oakland 6-4. 2 out base hits, the drive and a run, are the hits that help win ball games. So 4 runs are in for the Mariners here in the 7th.
Dan Wilson over there at first base and kind of letting that sinker down and in. Bradford's out pitch, his best pitch, the one with movement down and in at your back knee that you can't dig out of there. But this is a breaking ball out of the plate. Dan Wilson hits it in the left center. And Maka looking at that lineup card saying, well, I got a pitcher out there in big trouble, but I can't bring up a left-handed pitcher.
But now Bob Melvin will go to his bench and bring in the left-handed bat of Raul Ibanez, the pinch hit for Cabrera.
And that makes the move for Maka that did me a favor. I wanted to get that pitcher out of there that was giving up all the runs to give me a chance to bring in Hammond.
So Ibanez goes in to pinch hit. Here comes Hammond, the left-hander. The Mariners have taken a 6-4 lead in this ball game, and we'll be back after this timeout. First and third, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning, and the new pitcher for the A's, left-hander Chris Hammond. Hammond with the Yankees last year. Here's Raul Ibanez, the pinch hit for Holbert Cabrera. 0-1.
We have another left-hander on the mound that features an off-speed pitch, a changeup. Look at 62 ball game, 45 strikeouts, 11 base on balls. He does throw strikes, but he throws very soft, and he has a great changeup and great movement, and I call it velocity of his body coming towards you. It makes it appear faster than what it is.
Bounce foul up the first base side, and the count is 0-2 on Ibanez.
Sometimes as a pitcher goes into his windup and he jumps at you, it makes you jump as a hitter, and the ball never gets there.
Hammond becomes the fourth pitcher used by Oakland A's manager Ken Maka. Olerud at third. Wilson on at first. Outside, 1-2. 4 runs are in. Clutch base hits for the Mariners. Olerud on at third base. Just a look at Dan at first base. Fouled away past first base coach Mike Aldretti. Still 1-2 on Raul.
Not quite the combination you see on the base path, Olerud, Dan Wilson, that you attempt the first and third play where Dan Wilson takes off and gets into a rundown and stays in it long enough for Olerud to score. And I don't see that happening.
Mariners get their leads. Swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch, strike 3 to end the inning. But the Mariners score 4 and take the lead, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. Mariners 6 and the 8 off the bottom of the 7th inning with a strike from Ron Vallone. And the Mariners 7th inning stretch is sponsored by Northwest Pride. Today's manufactured homes built for living, built for life. Mariners now lead the A's 6-4 with a 4-run top half of the 7th inning. 1-1 on Kotsay, who has an RBI double. He's 1 for 3. Inside, up and in with a fastball, 2-1. Brian Franklin started the ball game, went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs and 8 hits, walked 2 and struck out a couple. Ball 3, 3-1. And he walked him all the way to the backstop with that pitch for ball 4. So Kotsay is on at first base. Well, as part of BECU Family Nights this season at select Monday home games, all view reserved seats are only $10. That's a savings of over 40% off the regular price. And the first BECU Family Night of the year is coming up next homestand. It's April the 19th at 7:05 when the Mariners host the Oakland A's. Good seats are available, so don't wait and miss out on this deal. Visit SeattleMariners.com for tickets.
And Rick, that ball 4. As the bullpen starts to ramble out there, Soriano gets up, starts throwing rapid fire to get loose quick.
Here's Bobby Kielty. Ball 1. Kielty 2 for 3, a single and a double and a run scored. He was with Toronto and Minnesota last year. Alone looking for a ground ball. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Now time is called as Dan Wilson out to the mound. They have a talk with Vallone. Buy Soriano some time down in the bullpen.
I think Ron Vallone is looking for a strike. First of all, to throw the ball over the plate. Because when you walk a hitter and the team is behind and the pitcher gives you no indication that he's throwing strikes, you got to take one. Give him a chance to dig a hole for himself.
And he takes a fastball for a strike, 2-1. I was talking with pitching coach Brian Price prior to the ball game. Shigetoshi Hasegawa yesterday threw a lot of pitches, but he said Shiggy is available at the back end of the bullpen tonight. Soriano is available, of course. He's ready, getting ready down to the bullpen right now. Mateo, but so is Shiggy. Strike 2 called on Kielty, and the count is even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Mariners are hoping to see veteran left-hander Eddie Guardado possibly in this 3-game series this weekend here in Oakland. He had a chance to throw about 35 to 40 pitches down to the bullpen earlier this afternoon. Brian Price said it was a very good session. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. Over to first base to get Kotsay back to the bag. But Hindu, when Cordano gets back, and everybody else falls into their roles.
And then it makes that bullpen much deeper, and of course they need the extra pitcher after this off day, playing those stretch of games in a row.
Inside, ball 3, full count, 3-2 on Bobby Kielty. Malone has walked Kotsay. The tying run is at home plate, and Kielty and Eric Chavez is due up next. 6-4 Mariners lead. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Ron Valone striking out Bobby Kielty for the first out. 1 on and 1 away.
Want to see some ice water in your veins? Ron Valone throws a good breaking ball, 3-2. Kielty, of course, just like me, looking for a fastball. Pitcher struggling out there. You figure he's going to throw a fastball. Throws the breaking ball out in front.
Strikeout number 3 for Ron Valone in relief. He's faced only 5 batters. Here he is, Eric Chavez. He'll toss the first base to get Kotsay back to the bat. Big cut by Chavez.
Well, Chavez better get used to this. Most every club is going to bring out a left-hander for his 3rd and 4th at-bats every ball game.
Ground ball fouled away. And it's 0-2 on Eric. Over the last few years, the A's have lost some very big free agents. Jason Giambi, most recently Miguel Tejada. They sign up Chavez for 6 years.
They actually keep one this time.
Only 27. One ball and 2 strikes. Brian Price on your left, manager Bob Belvin on your right. One on, one away. Swing and a foul tip. Still 1-2 on Chavez.
And we've seen that over the years of Eric Chavez. He will go after the high fastball, and we've seen him tomahawk that pitch a few times out of the ballpark, but more often than not, that's one of the toughest pitches in baseball to hit. Something above your A's lettering here about your head. It's tough to get on top of that pitch and keep it on the ground. It's just going to be a pop-up, or you're going to swing through it.
Way up and in with a fastball as Chavez backs away from ball 2. 2-2.
Good fastball up and in just to get attention. Let you know that I'm not just a nice guy Ron Valone on the mound. I'm here to win a ball game. It's my plate.
Trying to go away. Popped up behind home plate and out of play, and the count is still 2-2. Like we talked about earlier, if you go inside, you've got to come way inside on Chavez.
Call that old pitch a bow tie, right under the chin. Just let everybody know that this isn't spring training anymore. No nice guys. We're playing baseball.
Kotsay on at first base, 1 out. Infield, double play to Hatteberg at short, Boone at second. Low and outside. Nice stop by Dan Wilson to block the pitch. 3-2, and to keep Kotsay at first base, and that keeps the double play in order. How many times will we see that during the course of the year? On deck for the A's, Jermaine Dye. lead 6-4. Line drive left center. Winn on the run, and Randy off his glove, and it gets behind him. Mark Kotsay running third will score. Chavez to third. It's a one-run game. Mariners 6 and the A's 5. Randy Winn cut across. He got there, but dropped it. And Aaron Winn. And now the A's have the tying run perched on at third base.
Well, as we go back to him, take a look at this. The high fastball we're talking about, look at him. He tomahawks this ball. Normally, you see how high that pitch is? No way you're supposed to get on top of it. It's supposed to be a pop-up to the infield. He handled that high pitch. Look how high this is, people. He gets on top of it, throws that top hand down on the ball, and it gets a little knuckling effect, and it goes by Randy Winn in center field. He overruns that ball a bit because he didn't expect it to be hit as hard as the way it was. The tomahawk effect of Chavez getting that right hand over the top of the ball made Randy Winn misjudge that ball.
And that is going to be it for Ron Vallone, and Rafael Soriano takes over in relief. 6-5 Mariners lead. Changes made. We'll be back after this timeout. And this is a copyrighted telecast of the Seattle Mariners Baseball Club. All rights reserved. Eric Chavez on at third base with a three-base error on center fielder Randy Winn that allows Kotsay to score. One out. Tying run at third. Mariners lead 6-5. And here is Jermaine Dye, and the new pitcher is right-hander Rafael Soriano. The infield is up close.
And I think that's the key. The infield's up close, and Soriano possessing that overpowering fastball. He's got to get the ball up in his zone and get it by Jermaine Dye.
Fastball is up and in. Ball one, either a pop-up in that situation. Here are the numbers for Soriano from last year.
Look at the strikeouts, 68 strikeouts, 12 base on balls. That's overpowering. Way more than the 2-to-1 ratio you expect.
Line drive, left field line, a fair ball in toward the corner. Chavez scores. Game tied. Dye in at second base with an RBI double. It's the Mariners 6 and the A's 6. So the A's come right back to tie up this ball game with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. They capitalize on a leadoff walk and error, and the double by Dye.
Well, you know the scouting report, Soriano's going to pour fastballs at you, and this ball's down a little bit. As we said, we want to get the ball up. It makes it tougher for Jermaine Dye to get to it, but a fastball down, he knows, opens up those hips and gets it out of there for the double.
Still only one away, and here is Scott Hatteberg. Ball one. Hatteberg, an RBI single, back to the first. He has walked and scored. Bounced into a double play. Deep but foul on the right field side, and it's 1-1. Rafael Soriano still trying to build up that arm strength. Remember, he missed a lot of time in spring training, so you take a look at Dye, the go-ahead run on at second. All 2-1. He worked a lot of innings during the winter ball season down in the Dominican Republic as a starter. He worked 42 innings, went to spring training, was strong, but then pulled his oblique muscle. That takes a good 3 to 4 weeks to heal up. Finally came back to pitch at the end of the spring. Into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for extra bases. Dye will score. A's have the lead. Hatteberg in at second with an RBI double, and it's now Oakland 7 and the Mariners 6. Three runs in for the A's here in the 7th, and still only one away.
Well, growing pains for Rafael Soriano. When you don't have your good fastball, you have to rely on a different pitch. This is pretty good location, a fastball low and away, but pitching a couple of days, his arm strength is not up to par, and the fastball doesn't have that extra hop on it.
Eric Karros pops one up. First base line coming down the line. John Olerud is there to make the catch, and there is out number 2. So the A's have taken over the lead 7-6. Hatteberg on at second base, and the batter will be shortstop Bobby Crosby.
And as a reliever, you work a couple days in a row, you don't have your good fastball. You have to rely on another pitch, and that's exactly what Soriano did right there. A good slider to Karros got him out in front.
Julio Mateo begins to warm up down in the bullpen. Ball 1. Bobby Crosby 0 for 3. Slider on the outside corner at the knees, 1-1.
Well, that lets you know you're a pitcher instead of a thrower. When you don't have your good fastball, you have to go to your other pitch. And, of course, you have the reputation for an overpowering fastball. Everybody looks for it.
Ground ball foul on the third base side, and the count is now 1-2. With a breaking ball from Soriano.
Well, usually the hitters let you know how good your fastball is, and these Oakland A's and Hatteberg right there, he let Soriano know that he doesn't have his overpowering fastball by lacing it in a gap.
Fastball is up and in. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was at 92. 1 on, 2 outs. 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 7th. 7-6 A's. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Be appealed down to the first base umpire, crew chief Randy Marsh. Ball 3, full count. Slider misses down and away, and 3-2 for ball 4. So Crosby with a walk, and the A's have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And here comes pitching coach Brian Price out of the dugout. In the meantime, right-hander Julio Mateo still warming up down in the bullpen. Due up next is catcher Damian Miller.
Well, that pitch selection right there by Dan Wilson lets you know that Soriano doesn't have his good fastball. Because normally he would reach back and challenge the hitter. Here's my fastball up in the zone. You know it's coming. See if you can get to it. Doesn't have faith in that fastball today. Goes with a 3-2 breaking ball. Misses outside.
Still looking to get his strength back to get that fastball where it was last year, anywhere between 94 to 98 miles an hour. He'll get there. BP, Brian Price heading back to the dugout. Damian Miller is the hitter now for the A's.
Now batting, catcher Damian Miller.
Opening game of this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be Gil Bash against Tim Hudson. Sunday afternoon, Jamie Moyer against Mark Mulder. 1-1 on Miller. Then it's on to Anaheim, an off day on Monday. Then a 3-game series for the Angels. Angels lost today, this afternoon in Texas, 12-4. There's a look at the matchups on FSN. Fouled away by Miller, and the count is 0-2. Crosby on at first, Hatteberg on at second. Strike 3 called. Soriano fans, Damian Miller looking to end the inning, but a big inning for the A's. We go to the top half of the 8th. Oakland on top, 7. Score of 7-6. And Willie Bloomquist leads it off with ball 1 from Chris Hammond. Mariners took the lead with 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning. A's reclaimed the lead with 3 in the bottom of the 7th.
And normally what happens if you never faced the guy in Chris Hammonds and Bloomquist, you go ask Richie Aurilia, that's faced him a lot in the National League. Aurilia probably says, count to 10, close your eyes, then open them, and then swing.
Well, takes ball 3 right there. Three and 1. Ichiro due up next, always stretching, getting loose before every at bat.
Down by a run, Willie Bloomquist got to make sure this ball is middle in and a fastball before he swings.
Fly ball into right center. Jermaine Dye is there. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 8th. Here's Ichiro.
Now batting, right fielder, Ichiro, Suzuki.
Ichiro 2 for 4, a couple of singles, and a run scored. He scored one of the 4 Mariner runs in the 7th. Randy Winn, a switch hitter, is due up next. Now, right-hander begins to warm up down in the bullpen for the A's. 1-1. That's Jim Messier. Former Mariner. Jim went to the Yankees in that trade after the '95 season. 1-2 on Ichiro. The left-hander down in the Mariner bullpen is Mike Myers. Ground ball hits the bag at first, bounces away from Karros, and Ichiro is safe. Right on the bag and kicked back into the infield in fair territory, and Ichiro has his 3rd base hit tonight, and the Mariners have the tying run aboard.
Well, when you got it working, you got it working. If this ball doesn't hit the bag, it possibly gets by Karros into the corner for at least a double, possibly a triple.
So Ichiro on at first base with 1 out. And here's Randy Winn. Fouled away on the 3rd base side, 0-1.
We take a look at this. Look at Karros right. He's getting relayed a sign. You see him move over, he knows the changeup's coming. This is way before the pitch is thrown. So he knew the changeup was coming. He started to move his location before the pitch was thrown. So he's getting relayed the sign from the second baseman that a changeup was coming so he can take away that line. It just so happens the ball hit the bag.
And it's low to win for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Middle infielders get the sign so they know what's coming, an off-speed pitch or fastball. They can cheat one way or the other, but the corner guys would like to know.
Especially when you have a guy in Hammond throwing about 70 miles an hour changeup. There's no way in the world Ichiro has to pull that pitch, so Carroll's getting a good jump before he even throws the pitch.
Fouled away. 1-2 on Winn.
So there's a lot more going on this field than a pitcher and a catcher doing signs. The middle infielders giving signs to the 1st and 3rd baseman to let them know what's coming, especially if a changeup's coming and the batter's your way. It's coming your way. It's probably going to be coming quick.
So it's a good thing it hit the bag because Karros was over there
right in position.
Strike 3 called. Randy Winn is caught looking. And 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 8th. Tying run on. A's lead 7-6. And that'll send up Brett Boone. The right-hander should be ready. Jim Messier. And Boone steps in to face the left-hander. There's Messier. 0-1.
Now, I guess Maka likes this matchup. See if Boone can handle a 70-mile-an-hour pitch. Because Hammond, if he does throw a fastball, it's going to be way inside to set up the changeup.
Fastball high and outside for ball 1-1-1.
Well, the fastball's not going to get close to the strike zone. Boone's going to have to hit a changeup if he's going to get a base hit in this at bat.
Off speed, a strike, and the count is now 1-2. It's 71-mile-an-hour change.
And that's why you throw the fastball up out of the zone so the hitter can register how fast the ball is going. You can't just go change up, change up, change up.
Swing and a miss, and he got him on another changeup, and the side is retired. No runs are hit, and a man left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. A's lead by Southwest Airlines. Non-stop service to 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By McDonald's. McDonald's new Chicken McNuggets made with all white meat. A change for the better. I'm loving it. And by your Northwest Chevy dealers, who invite you to test drive the new Chevy cars and trucks. And by Pepsi. It's the Cola. Bottom of the 8th inning. The A's lead 7-6. Marco Scutaro leads it off with a strike from Soriano. 0-1. Rafael on in relief. Brian Valone in the 7th inning, when the A's came up with 3 runs to take the lead. They capitalized on a walk and an error and clutch doubles. Up and in on Scutaro. 1 ball and 1 strike, and he had to scoot out of the strike zone. And there's a look at former Mariner Arthur Rhodes, the new closer for the Oakland A's. Ball 2, 2-1. Right on the outside corner, fastball, 2-2.
How about this, Rick? Your father is Italian, your mother's Spanish, and you grew up in Venezuela. You're Scutaro. And your dad wants you to play soccer. He's mad because you're a baseball player. How about that?
What a mix. Fly ball, turned on it, pulled it foul down the left field line. Deep at foul, and the count is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, time now to take a look at the league leaders, brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Here's how the teams are hitting in the first 3 games, what they hit and what they did today. Anaheim hitting .308 in the 3-game series against Seattle.
Yeah, you look at those numbers and you only have 3 games, and they're going to look a little distorted. They'll average out over the course of the year.
Oakland hitting just .223, but it's when you get the hits, and they won 2 out of 3 here at home against Texas. Ball 3, full count on Scutaro, 3-2. Rafael Soriano looking for a quick inning to get his offense back to work in the top of the 9th inning to face Rhodes. Well hit down the left field line. Ibanez on the run, and this one is going to drop in for a fair ball into the corner. Scutaro at second base with a double, his second.
Well, and that was the only hitter Soriano was going to face, and Bob Melvin goes out and makes a quick hook. Mike Myers coming into the ballgame, Rick.
So the veteran left-hander will take over in relief from Rafael Soriano. A's lead 7-6, 1 on. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Don't go away. We'll be back after this timeout. The Mariners.
We talked about Bradford and his release points being down under. Myers pretty much the same way, but he throws his release points all over. 3/4, sidearm, over the top.
Mark Kotsay takes high, ball 1.
And that pitch right there gives you the appearance. If you're left-hander against left-hander, Kotsay, he's throwing that ball right into your rib cage. you got to have nerve enough to stay in there and not bail out. The guys that bail out, they don't make it past high school.
No, they're done. Swing and a miss by Kotsay. 1 ball and 1 strike. How about Randy Johnson coming at you? A little bit Laredo on the left-handed here with that nasty slider and fastball.
Well, it's okay to bail out against Randy.
Yeah. And a wife and kids at home, you know. Myers trying to keep the A's in check. Hopped up, third base side, plenty of room. Willie Bloomquist is there, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Holding at second, Scudero. Brings up Bobby Kielty. In the top half of the 9th inning, it'll be Edgar Martinez, Rich Aurilia, and John Olerud, the middle third of the order. 1-run game. A's on top, 7-6. Kielty with a couple of hits tonight for the A's. He was with the Blue Jays last year, batted .233 with Minnesota, hit .252. Combined 13 home runs on the year. Good breaking ball for a strike. A's during the offseason lose Miguel Tejada, Terrence Long, Keith Folk, Ted Lilly, Ramon Hernandez. New faces are Crosby, Kotsay, this guy here, Kielty, Arthur Rhodes, Damian Miller, and now Mark McLemore. Recently signed by the A's. 1-1. Eric Karros, also new.
Well, typically on every team, there's about 5 new faces every year, but the A's, with their payroll restraint, about 10 new faces.
Fly ball into deep center field. Randy Winn going back to the 1-inch track. This one is off the top of the fence. Scudero will score in at second with a double, Bobby Kielty. And the A's now lead 8-6. Bobby Kielty almost got it out of here to straightaway center field off the top of the wall. So 8 doubles for the A's tonight. That ties an Oakland club record.
Well, almost didn't tie this record. Look, a fastball supposed to be in. We talked about location. This ball almost wasn't a double. It's an inch or two from going out of the ballpark, hitting the center field wall. Randy Winn knows he can't get it, so plays the carom, throws it in. Nothing he could do.
Eric Chavez with a strike from Myers, 0-1. So the A's now lead 8-6. 1 down here in the 8th. Ball 1-1. Chavez with a double. Kielty has 2. Kotsay with a double. Dye with 1. Hatteberg with 1. Miller has 1, and Scudero has 2. 8 doubles for the A's. Ball 2, 2-1.
Arthur Rhodes ready to go in the 9th. New closer for the A's.
2 saves already for Rhodes, and the 2 wins for the A's over the Texas Rangers. Two and 2 on Chavez. Fouled off, still 2 and 2. Mariners bullpen hoping to get Eddie Guardado back as soon as possible. As we mentioned earlier, he worked out this afternoon through about 35 or 40 pitches.
He'll be another pitcher that will have to kind of work himself back in the shape. Didn't pitch much in spring training. Had a sore knee.
But then in San Diego a couple of days ago, tried to come in relief, couldn't even throw a couple of pitches to get ready, could not get loose in the bullpen. He had to take himself out of the ball game. Real frustrating start with his new ball club.
Eddie Guardado is chomping at the bit to get in there, and you don't get a name Everyday Eddie from not pitching.
Swing and a miss by Chavez for strike 3. 2 outs for the A's here in the 8th. They lead 8-6. And here comes manager Bob Melvin out of the dugout.
Well, he's already made the call. This is no secrets. Bob Melvin does like I do. He doesn't waste time. No secrets. Get the right-hander and face the right-hander.
So here comes Julio Mateo on in relief. The Mariners were down in this game going into the top half of the 7th inning. But they came back with a 4-run top of the 7th inning to regain the lead. Right now it's 8-6 Oakland. Jermaine dive with a double down the left field line.
Off of Soriano, and brought him in especially to run the fastball up. Couldn't get it up. And you want to see later? Here's Hatteberg with a double in the left center. I know we said double a lot, but they have 8 of them tonight. And he scores die, and that puts him ahead
by a run. And now here at the bottom of the 8th inning, Bobby Kielty with a drive off the top of the wall, almost gets it out of here, scoring Marco Scudero. So now the A's have a 2-run lead at 8-6, and the new pitcher is right-hander Julio Mateo.
Well, we saw a lot of clutch hitting on both sides. You see, look at Julio Mateo, 50 games, 4-0 record, 3.15 ERA, 85 2/3 innings. That's a lot of innings for a reliever. He went out there a lot. 71 strikeouts, 13 base on balls. So he does throw strike. Has a nice overpowering slider for Jermaine Dye.
Those highlights right now, the difference of the game brought to you by Columbia Bank. You'll notice the difference. Mateo to face Jermaine Dye. 0-1. Kielty at second, 2 outs, a run in for the A's. Remember, it's going to be Edgar Martinez, Rich Aurilia, and John Olerud coming up in the top half of the 9th. One and one. Dye, a good fastball hitter. Hasn't seen one yet from Mateo. This guy had an outstanding year last year. Out of play, 1-2. We talked about all the changes for the Oakland A's. The Mariners have 10 new faces on this ball club from a team that won 93 games last year.
So it's taken a little time for everybody to get to know each other. You talk about spring training, but that's a different setting. This is game time, and people react different when you put the double decks and the lights on the stadium.
Well, it's spring training. Let's go back to that thought, Hendu. Outside on Dye for ball 2, 2-2. Halfway through the spring, or even more so, you're still not playing with your entire ball club. You know, you guys are getting 4 or 5 innings in, and then they're gone. You've got to take a look at the kids. You've got to take a look at all the pitching.
And you don't get to play with a full lineup from day to day, so you might not see the guy you're playing with for a week or two on the same field with you.
1 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Slider got him looking. What a pitch from Julio Mateo, and that will end the inning. But the A's get a run, and we go to the top half of the 9th. Our score, the A's 6, and the Mariners, rather the A's 8, and the Mariners 6.
The M's have the right guys coming to the plate to get this done.
They sure do, Angie. As we go to the top half of the 9th inning, the Mariners will send up Edgar Martinez, Rich Aurilia, and John Olerud to face Arthur Lee Rhodes. The A's lead by a score of 8-6. They pick up a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. This direct connect call to the pen is brought to you by Nextel, and here he is, the new closer for the Oakland A's, a familiar face, former Mariner Arthur Rhodes.
Don't have to introduce Arthur Rhodes. Everybody knows what he has. He has an overpowering fastball and a sometimes breaking ball. Sometimes he gets that breaking ball over, sometimes he doesn't.
So here's Rhodes with 2 saves on the year against the Texas Rangers, and a strike on Edgar, 0-1.
This is last year, 67 ball games, 3-3 record, but kind of high ERA, 4.17, but 48 strikeouts. That's the number you look at.
Outside with a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Edgar 1 for 4 with a double and scored a run in the 6th. Fly ball into straightaway right field. Dye backing up just a few steps. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 9th. Sends up shortstop Rich Aurilia, who had a huge hit for the Mariners in the 7th inning, a 2-run double to give the Mariners a lead. Rich 3 for 4 with a couple of doubles and a single and a run scored, 2 runs batted in. Fastball, 0-1. Ground ball to shortstop Bobby Crosby. And the Mariners are down to their final out here in the top half of the 9th. Quickly 2 away. And John Olerud is up there to try to keep the Mariners' hopes alive. Down by a couple, 8-6. John with 2 hits. He doubled the straightaway center field in the 2nd. Drove in a run with a single in the 6th. Been hit by a pitch. He's been intentionally watched. He's 2 for 2. All 1. On deck is catcher Dan Wilson, hoping that John can reach safely here in the 9th inning. One and 1.
It's not like you don't know him. He's been on your team for the last 3 years. You know exactly what he throws.
There's that breaking ball. It's low. Ball 2, 2-1. It's a good slider. Rhodes for years one of the best setup men in the game of baseball. Now asked to close, signing a 3-year contract through the offseason with the A's. Ground ball wide of third, diving stop. Chavez, his throw to first, and the ball game is over. What a play by Eric Chavez. And the Oakland A's take game 1 of this 3-game series. A final score of 8-6. So the Mariners are still looking for that first win on the season. Arthur Rhodes picks up his 3rd save of the year. The Mariners had the lead, but they just could not hang on, and the A's take advantage of a walk and an error in a 3-run bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh, the A's come up with 8 doubles tonight, so extra base hits are going to kill you. But they came up with some clutch hits. The Mariners just couldn't get that pitching to get those tough outs when they needed to. But the Mariners, they score 6 runs again, so they're putting runs on the board. They just have to stop the other team's offense.
So the Oakland A's win for the 3rd time this year. They go to 3-1 on the season. And the Mariners start off the year now with a record of 0-4 with 2 games left to go here in Oakland. And Gil Mesh will go against Tim Hudson tomorrow afternoon in the middle game of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with David Henderson. Hendu, the A's jumped out in front of this ball game, and the Mariners did a great job to come back and put together some clutch base hits there in the 7th inning.
Well, you have to give Mark Redmond a lot of credit. He has some World Series experience in the World Series last year. Came out and pitched a great ball game. Kept the Mariners off the board and left with a lead. And it's one of those things where you have to get that lefty because the bullpen, the matchups are in their favor, and it's going to be tough to beat the bullpen.
Mariners had some chances there early in the ball game, but eventually had the lead in this contest later on in the ball game. Here's a look at the scoring in this game tonight, won by the A's by a score of 8-6 in the 1st inning.